Israel's army chief Herzi Halevi has claimed a military victory over Hezbollah, asking the government to restart the local economy after Israel entered into a truce with the Iran-backed group on November 27th. This is 2 months after Israel stepped up its bombing backed by a ground assault on Lebanon, following nearly a year of exchanges of cross-border fire initiated by Hezbollah over the war in Gaza. In a video statement released by the military, Halevi says that in order to achieve a long-term victory, the people of Lebanon needed to visit restaurants and to get involved in agriculture, which required active role of the Lebanese government.
Militarily, we have won. That's very clear. But to achieve a true, long-term victory, we need to see many citizens living here and many tourists visiting. The restaurants, cafes, the people coming here to cycle, and the agriculture flourishing. That's victory. A lasting victory. The state needs to step in and put its full weight behind it.
Referring to Gaza, the Israeli military says that approximately 5 projectiles were fired from northern Gaza into Israeli territory, 2 of which were intercepted amid an ongoing Israeli offensive in the north of the Palestinian territory. The Palestinian Civil Defense reported the IDF also carried out an airstrike on Al-Wafa Hospital in Gaza City's Judea district that killed 7 and injured several others. The readout released by IDF mentioned a precise strike targeting members of Hamas's aerial defense unit operating from a command and control center in the building that reportedly served in the past as the Al-Wafa Hospital. Parallel to this, Gaza health officials reported that a 20-day-old baby died on Sunday from severe cold. As the war raged on, the Palestinian territory was bracing for harsh winters. The health ministry in the Hamas-run territory said in a statement, a baby identified as Juma al-Batran died from the cold, while his twin brother remains in the intensive care unit at a local hospital.
My wife checked his feet and found them like ice cubes. Then I checked the other child and found him cold. I ran to the hospital with the child, but as soon as I arrived, they told me that the child had died.
In the meantime, Israel is set to submit a government report to the United Nations asserting that the hostages freed last year from Gaza endured physical and sexual abuse during their captivity, which also includes children. The report prepared by the Israeli Health Ministry is apparently based on the testimonials taken from released captives and has detailed instances of victims being burned, beaten and starved by the Hamas captors. The findings will be presented this week to the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture, the ministry added in a statement. On the other hand, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu successfully underwent a prostate surgery after he was diagnosed with a urinary tract infection resulting from a benign prostate enlargement. The Israeli leader arrived at Jerusalem's Hadassah Medical Center after 6 p.m. local time and went through the procedure in the evening. He will remain under observation in the fortified hospital room for several days, while Justice Minister Yariv Levin, a close ally, would serve as acting prime minister during the period. Local media has reported that Netanyahu's lawyer also requested the court to cancel the hearing in which he was scheduled to take the stand, as the prime minister will remain in the hospital for several days. Our correspondent Jody Cohen reports from Ranana.
Israel's health ministry is submitting a report to the UN this week detailing the physical and psychological torture endured by the hostages held in Gaza. The report was compiled by doctors and psychologists who treated the rescued and released hostages, detailing the difficulties they also faced more than 1 year on. Israel's health minister called it a wake-up call to the world to put more pressure on Hamas and its supporters to release all the hostages now. This comes amid Hamas claims that babies have been freezing to death in Gaza. Israel insists that aid agencies have failed for months to pick up hundreds of aid trucks, which include warm clothing and blankets, despite pauses in fighting to allow for distribution. Israel also says Hamas is stealing much of the aid. Now, this comes as negotiations for another hostage release deal falter, but are continuing. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.